Good morning, everyone. It's your man Cowboy Star coming back at you. That's right, we're talking about the Dallas Cowboys. Well, here's the latest news on what's going on with the Cowboys. James Washington, that's right, James Washington is finally in practice. He has not had one snap this year because he sustained a broken bone in his foot. The fifth metatarsal in his foot was broken in training camp, and he still has not donned the field. But they said he was going full go in practice, and but there's a twist to this, and I'll get to that in just a minute about James Washington's return. But he is finally back at practice and starting his 21-day to practice window to get back in the lineup, which I think he could get in sooner than that. But like I said, I'm going to talk more about that in a minute. The Cowboys do still have an open roster spot that they made with the release yesterday of one Terrell Basham, who has been released by the Cowboys to make room for either Tyron Smith or OBJ if we do end up signing him. I'm kind of worried about the situation with OBJ. Love to have him, but he visited the Giants already, and I think he's already eliminated them off the list. And he is visiting the Buffalo Bills over the weekend. I know for today for sure. And tomorrow he's visiting the Buffalo Bills. And Von Miller got on there the other day and said that he didn't think it. He thought if OBJ did come, that they wouldn't let him leave the facility, and I'm kind of worried about that. But OBJ is slated to visit the Cowboys on Monday. Jerry Jones said yesterday on 105.3 The Fan that he could talk to OBJ even before that Monday meeting that is scheduled over the phone to maybe sway him even more to come to the Cowboys. But I just hope and pray that they don't throw some big money at OBJ and get him to sign before he even gets to come to see the Cowboys. But I know that the Bills don't have much in cap space unless they're trying somehow to open up some cap space here the last couple of days. I know there's ways of doing it, but remains to be seen what's going to happen with OBJ. Let's keep our fingers crossed. So after beating the Giants, in case you've been living under a rock, the Cowboys defeated the New York Giants last week 28-20. I didn't get on here and do a video on that because it was, in my mind, it was suspected that the Cowboys expected us to win the game. So, and we did. Well, we made way too many penalties. As I always say in my keys to the game, the Cowboys cannot make that many penalties and beat most teams. We're just that much better than the Giants. The Giants are a fraud anyway, as everybody knows. They've won some games by a few points here and there and just got lucky, I think. And most of those wins that they've got, they're just not that good of a team. They're better than they have been, but they're just not equal to what the Cowboys have. They don't have the talent. They're up and coming, though, and they've got a good coach now. So it's going to be tough against the Giants for the next few years to come. But yeah, the Cowboys defeated them, and now they find themselves facing the lowly Indianapolis Colts on Sunday Night Football this week. If you're a Cowboy fan, you need to be tuning into that game. It's not going to be much of a game. The Cowboys are favored by 10 or 11 points in this game. Only chance that the Colts would have to upset us is if Jonathan Taylor was to run for over 200 yards and just run rampant on the Cowboys, and if we committed another 13 penalties and maybe 3-4 turnovers, we could have a chance to lose this game. You can be beaten by any team on any given day, especially if you give them opportunities. And the Cowboys are noted for playing down to an opponent instead of putting their foot on their neck. So let's hope the Cowboys, the good Cowboys, show up and take care of business. I'm hoping it's one of those 40-3 type scores, but who knows what's going to happen. But like I said, OBJ is visiting the Bills today, and he will visit the Cowboys Monday. So let's hope Jerry Jones and keeps Stephen Jones out of that meeting, and he pulls some of his magic that he used to do back in the 90s. Uh, let's hope he can get out of the Bills' offices. That's all I hope and pray, because if he doesn't make it to the meetings, there's no way that we're going to be able to sign him. But the Cowboys, talking about James Washington, I told you I'd come back to him. They will likely keep James Washington off the 53-man roster until we know if we're going to sign OBJ or not. And what they could do if we end up signing OBJ, if they don't have room for Washington, they could just put him on IR for the rest of the year, and because he waived him IR injured on injured reserve. And that way he wouldn't be able to be picked up by another team, but he'd be off the team, off the 53, which would make room for OBJ, which that to me is kind of a risky proposition, because what if something happens to OBJ and you put him on IR for the rest of the year, and then you're not going to be able to call him back? So it's here and there. First things first, we got to get OBJ signed. So. But Tyron Smith, in other news, is he's getting close to coming to his 21-day window to practice and return to the starting lineup. But if he does return, he will return at left tackle as he always has played, and Tyler Smith would then shift over to left guard, and I think we'd have a pretty stout offensive line in that case. If we get Tyron Smith to come back and be healthy the rest of the year, and then sign OBJ for December, man, we're gonna have a good run, I do believe, this year with the Cowboys. Hopefully we can win a playoff game. But that's pretty much all that's going on right now with the Cowboys. I do appreciate it if you would subscribe and like the videos. That does help out the channel. With that being said, anything else breaks, we do on here, we get back on here and let you know what's going on. Y'all have a good day. We'll catch you next time. I'm out.